miners team. So we're all very happy that you're here. This is my husband. He's an Australian cowboy, Byron Hamilton. He's going to do the thank you, the compensation plan for you guys tonight. And then we have a very special guest that we're going to introduce. And he is the founder of TexitCoin. And we are so honored in his busy schedule that he took the time to come and be with you all tonight.
He was just hungry, that was all.
That was, he never eats, that's it. But anyway, we want to welcome with a round of applause our founder, Bobby Gray.
I'm getting our agenda together. This isn't normally how I show up for our Tuesday night calls. About 5 minutes before the call starts, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and I just go, all right, I think of something, and then a checklist comes together or not, and the call begins. So here we are. I can't think of a better thing to do or a better place to be on a Friday night than hanging out with all of you great people, enjoying barbecue once again. Seems like forever. And talking about TexitCoin. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming out and joining us here. As mentioned, I am Bobby Gray. I am the guy that started this thing. Quick history on TexitCoin, if you don't already know. I mined the first block in McKinney, Texas, January 26th of 2024. So this thing has been going on now for more than a year. And not just that, this week is actually a really interesting week because this is the 52nd week that we're running the Mine TexitCoin program. I launched it in January. I felt pretty good about it. It was a twinkle in my eye back then. But I'm an entrepreneur. I've had lots of ideas. Some of them are even good ideas. But I didn't feel good enough about bringing my friends and family in to join me and put their cash in until April of last year. That was 52 weeks ago. Wow. And so tomorrow at 7 p.m. we will wrap up week 52 of this little adventure called TexitCoin. And man, what a year it's been. Wow. Let's see if I can come up with some statistics off the top of my head. Fact check me here because all of our live data is on the website for you to check out anytime you like. If you go to mindtxc.com, click on dashboard at the top. But here we are, week 52. I think we have what, now more than 2,500 miners? Yeah. Where are we at? Is that about right? We probably are adding 200, 300, 400 a week at this point. We hit profitability for the mining program last November. Last November was the point that we said, man, we have a real thing here. Not only is it real and people are joining, but we have enough money left over to pay our bills, to build the mine, and to start to promote our project. That happened last November. It was a big turning point for us. And then the next question was like, okay, when are we going to hit like the tipping point? And I don't know if we're there at 1,000 people or 2,000 people, but it sure feels good at this point. I think we just broke past $5 million of revenue, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. It's really interesting because normally I'm watching this stuff like a hawk, right? And now all of a sudden we break through these major milestones and people are like, we just broke $5 million. And I'm like, huh, I didn't even notice. And so it's been very exciting. Let's see what else has happened in week 52 here. We're way over $1 million paid out in cash commission at this point. Yeah. How many people here by a show of hands have gotten a cash commission out of your work that you've done with TexitCoin? I love it. Take a look around the room. Get them up higher. Get them up higher. Guys, this thing is all about putting cash back into your pockets. From the very earliest days of TexitCoin, I designed this thing to have the easiest, most simple, straightforward comp plan that this industry has ever seen. Which industry am I talking about? I'm talking about affiliate marketing. I'm talking about that dirty word that nobody likes to mention out loud, MLM, network marketing. This is not that. But I knew that if we had something great, and if it was simple, and if it was honest, and if it was achievable, it was going to work. And I modeled that plan a year ago when I started this thing. And I designed it to pay out 50% of all the money that comes in, goes right back out at the end of the week into your pockets. And everybody looked at it and they said, that's going to fail. That'll never work. Give it a couple months and it'll fall flat on its face. And here we are now, 52 weeks later. The compensation plan is going strong. We're actually under budget on our payouts. We budgeted 50%. We're regularly like 40, 42%. What does that mean? It means we have even more money to reinvest back into promotion and marketing TexitCoin. You've probably seen a billboard or two. We're now getting ready to start, or I think we already started streaming radio advertising. We're getting ready to launch Austin International Airport advertising. Sounds like July 6th, we go live for $228,000 across every single gate and every single terminal at DFW Airport.
Wow.
Our marketing budget for April is 20% of what we brought in last month. Our marketing budget for April is $440,000. If you've been around this thing for a while, hanging out with me, you remember that I told you from day one that the pros estimate that it costs $2 to $3 million to get a new coin onto the top 100, to get a new coin up to that $1 billion mark. And that was imaginary money for us way back at the beginning. We'll never have that much. Well, here we are. We've brought in now more than $5 million. We paid out quite a bit in commissions. We put a lot of money into building our mine. Hopefully you're on our Telegram group and you're watching the pictures of the equipment showing up every day. That's the proof that I want to bring to you guys to show you that I'm following through on the commitments that I've made to you. That's all we have to do for this project to be successful. Just follow through on what we say we're going to do. It's not that hard, but for some reason, everybody else seems to mess it up, and I don't know why. You know, I started this thing from the very beginning with honesty and transparency at the core. We had nothing last April. We had nothing. I had a garage full of a couple old miners that I bought off eBay. And that was it. And I went to my friends and I said, guys, this is all I have, but I think I'm onto something. But I can tell you this, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to follow through on this. And I think if we band together, we can make something great happen. And this guy is one of those guys that was there in my garage a year ago saying, here's $1,000, I'm in. I don't know what this crypto stuff is, but I'm up for an adventure. That's usually what I waste on a good night out with a dinner with the family, right? I've heard that plenty of times. And now here we are 52 weeks later with something very impressive to show for the work that we've done together. We've crowdsourced now an incredible project that is just at the very beginning of getting started. And I'm amazed. I know that I told you guys that I had a plan for this and I expected us to grow this fast, but when you actually see it happen and you actually see it come together the way that it has,